Alright guys, we are back today with our 2010 Jeep Wrangler here. This is going to be a final farewell video of it. So we're just going to get rid of it here. No real reason why, just kind of had our fun with it and time to move on basically. So it's sold basically right now, so I figured I'd just jump in it real fast, get it cleaned up, and get just one more quick video of it. I never really showed it a whole lot, maybe once a year or so I made a video of it, but when the times I did, I got a lot of positive response on it. So anyhow, I figured you guys would like to see this one last time. This is a 2010 Jeep Wrangler Sahara edition. This has the mercenary package, if you will. It's more or less an aftermarket conversion type thing. So you can see right here, it says mercenary Jeep. Basically done down in Blue Springs, Missouri area. That's where this Jeep came from, and I believe it was outfitted from the dealer, so it was basically sold like this from the dealer. But anyhow, it's just a really kick-ass looking Jeep. If I'm gonna be honest here, I'm not a Jeep person. I had a Jeep Wrangler myself. I think I had it for 2 months or so. Just wasn't for me. They're cool to look at and they're cool to ride in. But anyhow, we've only put, I think, 15 or 20K on this in 5 years or so. It's not ever been driven daily. I had to daily drive it a few days back when I had my Buick LeSabre. That thing would break down on me every so often, so I had to drive this a few times, and it wasn't too fun on the freeway, but it doesn't drive bad for such a big vehicle with big tires and obviously an underpowered V6. It's just not a bad vehicle as far as your Jeeps go. I know there's a lot of them bad ones out there, but this one was put together really nice. There's a few things I'd take off it, such as these incandescent spotlights right here, but it has a nice big bumper on it. We did quite a few things to this. We put these HID projectors in, or they're LEDs. The LED fog lights down there, and just put some new suspension components on it and painted the diff covers, and just little aesthetic things, but it's just been a good vehicle to us. It's never really stranded or anything. It's got new a new caliper, some new calipers all the way around, new brake lines. It's got EBC pads, slotted rotors. So all the right stuff's been put on this. It's of course riding on your XD series wheels. Again, they don't look all that bad, and there's no obnoxious star in the center. You see, we put these shocks on it and the new brake lines. The vehicle's pretty much rust-free. The frame's rust-free. It's like, from my understanding, it's only been in Michigan since we've owned it. Of course, when we got it, it had some rust on it, so we kind of sealed it up, and it hasn't traveled since then. So overall, it's in very good shape for it. Obviously, it's an 11-year-old vehicle at this point. It does have the nice slant top. It's just a real big eye catcher right there. I think that really makes this one stand apart from all the other Jeeps on the road, and especially where I live, there's a lot of these out, so this one does stand apart. Let's have its off-road jack again for aesthetic things. Just looks cool. Obviously, it's not everybody's cup of tea, so there's some hooks right here, and these are very heavy-duty hooks. You could probably lift this thing up by those 2 hooks. Just have some Borla exhaust on it for that good old cast iron V6. Has a trailer hitch. I don't know really what you're going to tow with this, but there it is. And then there's the underbody. Again, it's pretty much rust-free. Let's have a spare tire right here. This is a Nitto Mud Grappler. It does have a date stamp from '09 on it, just which makes me believe that this was done from the factory. So, of course, you had the Punisher back there, but I guess we'll kind of start our way back and work our way up. So, opening the tailgate here, again, I just drove it through the car wash, so all this is wet. Obviously, as you can see, it doesn't seal perfectly. So yeah, it does get in somewhere over here. My last Jeep did the same exact thing. What do you expect? I mean, all these components are removable. So I'll go ahead and wipe that down, and there's the back there. You have a little trunk liner. And then here's the subwoofer. Actually, this is a very full sounding audio system. It's one of the better systems I've heard. So it's an Infinity system. All these Jeeps leak right here, and these brackets all rust out, so we had to have a new one made out of aluminum right there. So that's all taken care of. That won't rust. So I'll shut it up here. You kind of have to slam it, but when we bought the Jeep, the spare tire was actually in the back because they used the stock spare tire bracket attachment thing. So we had to get a custom one that was more heavy duty. So there's that. So you can see it's shutting. It's very utilitarian type thing here. Now we'll jump into the back here. We'll go to the front and put the key in first. But opening the door here, it's just your typical Jeep. Nothing too fancy, but some floor mats there, some seat covers. Nothing's bad with the seats underneath. It just wanted black seats, so they're rough country. Jumping on in, you see the moonroof up there. They have another moonroof back there. So if I were to drive a Wrangler, this would probably be the one I would pick. But we'll jump on in here. We do have a key. Does have remote start as well. Just flick to start. So shutting the door, everything's all plastic, and obviously body panels there. So I hit the doors off a few times. They're pretty heavy doors. So looking at it, you have a leather wrapped wheel. Obviously we have a full tank of gas, and then low tire pressure. I think a sensor's dead, so unfortunately can't really fix that. But for this video we have 132,771. So like I said, we only put about 15 or 20K on it. So there's that good old V6. I gotta say, it's been good to us. It's the same one they put in the Town and Country, I think. We put a tuner on it, so it does have a little bit more power, and that really did help a good bit. It does have the stock radio with satellite radio. The volume knob is kind of janky, as they all get. Okay, it's not going to do it on video, but every other time the volume knob's kind of janky, so you got to kind of play with it to turn it up and down. So this probably needs replaced, but we do have a phone mount holder right here. I think this fits like an iPhone 5 at this point, so that's pretty useless. But coming down here, we do have a 6-speed auto. It's definitely geared like a 4-speed though. You have your 4x4 selection right there, overdrive, and these are the auxiliary switches. That is for the front condensant lights, and I think this is for the winch. But anyhow, going over it, we'll open the moonroof up here. It's pretty slow, but it does work. I have a little manual slider right there, so we can even vent it, open it up, and leave that like that. So that's kind of cool. So we'll turn on the headlights and fog lights. I'll try to pop the hood, but it's kind of a chore to get under there. So tires, I see you could probably get the rest of this summer out of the tires, but obviously they're cracked and everything, so probably next year they'll need to be replaced. But we don't drive it a whole lot, so we never really worried about it. Coming back here, we have the paracord grab handles. Once I jump back here, the seat's kind of far back, so but looking at it, floor mats, you have floor mats back here, power window switches, then you have the sound bar for those infinity speakers. Like I said, considering this vehicle's made to come apart, it's got a very good sounding system. But we'll open the back one up here, the back roof. You have a little switch for the passengers back here. So yeah, it's just a typical Jeep Wrangler, but you see the slant top does kind of cut down on your room there, but it's not all that bad. And a little incandescent light back there. So the headlights and fog lights right there. And I can get under here. We put these aftermarket latches on just because the other ones were so sun-blasted, and at this point these ones are too. But this is a garage-kept Jeep, so I don't really know how those, just poor painting process, I guess. So once you get under here, this is really all it takes to get under the hood of a Wrangler. So I wish there was a secondary latch maybe on the inside. Anyhow, looking at it here, it does have the 3.6 V6. It does have an aerated cold air intake on it. We had to put a new battery on it back in the fall. It's got an Optima battery in it, so it's a pretty good battery. And then obviously the live wire coil pack and spark plugs wires. So between the air intake, the exhaust, the tune, and these wires right here, it was a night and day difference to the Jeep. I'll get the latches after the video. But I'd like to kind of try that out on like a Town and Country or something, just to see what it does to that. But guys, this is going to be the end of this era for this Jeep. I think we've owned it for about 5 years or so at this point. I guess it's been a cool vehicle. It's just time to get rid of it and move on to something else. So get a final walk around here. See, the frame's all been powder coated. It's rust free, so it's very clean. Someone's going to get a good vehicle out of this. I have no doubts about it. So Just hear that little exhaust rumble. I think even over here we have a yeah, we have a lock box under there. So as usual, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to y'all later.